Okay, so we're going to start today with something called blind contour. Now, blind contour is an exercise, which means it's not a finished drawing. It's a way for your brain and your hand to learn how to work in unison to coordinate with each other. Okay, so I just did this little drawing, and this is actually two of my fingers. It's my pinky finger and this finger. So you can see that it's not going to look very good when you're done. It's all about the activity and getting the brain activity going the way that we want it to, okay? So you're going to use your sketchbook, and you can do this one here, and then eventually we're going to get to modified contour in a few minutes, and you can do a second drawing down here. So I'm going to do my next blind contour up here. I'm going to move my hand so that I can have a nice relaxed. I'm going to have to hold it for about 2 minutes. I want you guys to do at least 2 minutes. Set your timer so that you can let go of time, because time is also left brain mode. So I'm going to kind of curl this in a relaxed position. I think I can hold for 2 minutes. And then I'm going to pick an edge where I can want to start. Okay. So maybe I'll pick like the end of this finger right here. And I'm going to say, all right, that's the spot I'm going to start on. So I'm going to place my pencil down on the paper where I think that I want that to go. Okay, now the next thing I'm going to do is weird, because you do not, in blind contour, the reason it's called blind is you do not want to look at your paper. You only want to look at your hand. So the next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to turn around, and I'm going to have to speak a little louder so you can hear me, but I'm going to turn around completely in my chair so that I can only see my hand and I cannot see my paper at all. So now I'm looking at only my hand, and now as my eyes begin to move around the contours are the edges. As my eyes begin to move around the contour of my pinky, my pencil in my hand are going to follow what my eyes are telling it to. So there's a wrinkle. I'll go in and get it. Couple things to be aware of when you're doing this. If you can find a quiet spot, it's ideal, because you'll notice, and I talked about this, is that sometimes when I'm trying to draw, like I cannot draw and talk at the same time. And that's because drawing is right brain, talking is left brain. So trying to demonstrate and draw at the same time is very difficult. So try to be in a place where you don't need to speak, where you can stay as focused on your right brain as possible. All right, here, coming back around to the tip of my finger. All right, moving on to finger number 2 here. All right, the next thing I want you to notice about this style of drawing is that I'm never lifting up my pencil. And the reason that I'm never lifting up my pencil is because I can't see my paper. So if I lift up my pencil, then I won't know where to put it back down. So I've got to keep my pencil flowing in one continuous direction. I am also not doing this. This is sketching. Oop, I'm up in the rings of my binder. I can feel it. This is sketching. That would mean my eyes would have to be moving back and forth at that rate, and I don't want them to. I'm going to go back down and get my fingernail. I don't want my eyes to be moving back and forth like that. They are just moving slowly around the object. Therefore, my pencil has to be moving slowly around the paper. I am also never looking back at my paper, never erasing. I am just plowing forward. And even when I hit like the rings of my binder or run into a problem, I just kind of find a new spot to go and keep drawing. So that's 2 fingers with 1 fingernail. Awesome. Looks good, right? So you guys can see that it's going to be rough. Like it's not going to look like much, but that's okay. This is what it needs to look like for you to get that experience. The next one we're going to do is going to be modified contour. It will be similar, but you're going to learn to draw something that looks a little bit more like a hand and less like a scribble. For right now, you just need to embrace that scribble, okay? So set 2 minutes on your clock and begin.